Hello, and welcome back to the studio for an unboxing. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today we'll be unboxing the Zoom F6 multi-track field recorder. What? You may be saying. Yes, I know, I already have a perfectly fine Zoom recorder, which I'm using right now. That's the audio you're listening to. But you know how these things happen. And I'll explain it. But first, if you just want to see
what's in the box,
skip ahead 2 chapters, because the next chapter, I bought this with a bundle. So the next chapter, I'll be going through the bundle that came with this. And then the chapter after that, we'll open this box. But first, why did I buy this? Are you new here? You should know. There's one reason I keep buying new stuff for the studio, and his name is Bennett. Yes, Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis. It's not all his fault because this is not the product that he did on his channel. I'll link his video down below. What he did a video on was the F3 Zoom field recorder, which is a lesser model than this and probably would have been fine for me, but you know how I am. So after I did a bunch of research and looked around, I don't just go out and buy everything he says. I actually do research. So after I've did my research, I discovered that this was the one I wanted, and I'll tell you why when we get to opening the box. This one cost twice as much as the one, the F3, that he was recommending in his video linked down below. But I'll show you, it has a lot more features, and I'll explain. Because clearly I don't need it. This has been working fine. Although, has it really? I've noticed that in my unboxing videos particularly, I tend to talk looking down because I'm, working here on the table. So I'm looking down, so my voice is going this way. Well, the microphone's up here, so the volume dips. Well, that's easy to fix in post. Well, yeah, but you have to bring up the volume, and then that also brings up the noise floor so it can introduce hiss and other. This one's 32-bit float. And 32-bit float, you don't have to worry. The noise floor is like minus 70 dB, and it's when you bring things up to make them a little louder, only what you want to get louder gets louder. So the 32-bit float is what I wanted. It's what I got in the little Tentacle Track E, which of course I use as my backup recording, or when I'm not standing here in the studio. When I did my DaVinci Resolve video down in the office, this was the microphone for some of it. And it's 32-bit float, and I love the 32-bit float. It basically means you can't make mistakes. Well, you still can, but that's a whole other story. So that's why I bought this, even though it was ridiculously expensive. But you know me, what else I got to spend my money on? MacBooks? That's a joke. Go look at the channel. I bought 2 MacBooks in the past few months. Well, let's get into it, but let's not get into this. Let's get into this box. I know I've told you before about bundles from photography stores, and this is a bundle from Ted's. I got it through Amazon, but it was actually a seller, which is Ted's, which is a video store. And video stores love to give you bundles. Well, I needed a bundle because it turns out there's an app to control the F6, but you need the Bluetooth adapter so it can connect to your phone so the app can control the F6. You need this little guy, the BTA1, the Bluetooth adapter remote. And then when I plug this in, I'll be able to use an app on my phone to control the thing rather than foolishly having to reach all the way over to the corner of my desk. Yeah, I know. But it's $40. I could have bought the F6 directly from Amazon and then added this on for another $40. But for $10 more, Ted's throws in a 64 gig card, which is, I don't know, worth $10. Well, if it's worth $10, I got my money's worth. But wait, there's more. Ted also threw in rechargeable batteries because the F6 does run on batteries. Now, I'll be using it here in the studio, so I probably won't, but I could take it with me if I wanted to and use battery power. And so they throw this in and a lens and screening kit because all video stores throw in a lens and screening kit, no matter if you buy a lens, if you buy a camera, if they got a bundle, one of these will be in it. But the real reason I bought this bundle, if I ever am going to take this thing out of here, they give you a little bag. Now, it's not made for the F6. It's a DSLR camcorder gadget bag. The brand is Vivitar. Really? Don't they make like lenses and stuff? But anyway, it's just a little bag. Got a little strap, got some other stuff. But the F6 will fit in there, so if I ever want to call around. And you know, I only have about 30 of these from all the camera bundles and lens bundles I've bought over the years, so. Okay, well that was the bundle. All that was an extra $50, whereas this by itself was $40. So I figure it was the deal. Now let's get to the main event. The Zoom F6 multi-track field recorder. Look at it. Well, you're gonna see it in person in just a second. 32-bit float recording. Here we go. What's in the box? You get an adapter so that, I believe, well, we'll see in a minute, but I think this attaches, these 4 points attached to the F6, and then you can put a camera, you can attach your camera directly on top of it. So, you know, you could have your XLR mic. This is an XLR only device. So that's handy to have. And then we have a lot of cardboard that was just to protect that thing. And we have the quick guide. The quick guide tells you how to load, how to install. There, see, there you go. See, the thing screws onto the corners, and then you can put them up. And then the F6, I guess, would mount underneath, would mount to the tripod. So you'd have tripod, F6, camera. So maybe I will take it on the road. We don't know. It works on SD cards. Language, date and time, display overview, input and output settings, levels. Now, you don't have to worry about levels as much with this, again, because of the 32-bit float. But you do have to set some sort of level. The defaults will probably work just fine for me. Adjusting track volume, recording. Ooh, warning when using the AC adapter. Notice there is no AC adapter. Not to worry. Well, we're about to see. Wait a minute. All the things said it came with batteries. This, I guess, since Ted's give you this, they don't give you the batteries that came inside. Of course, Zoom is also well known for like leaving things out of boxes after a few years. And that's everything in that box. And here it is. Feels like metal, maybe a little plastic around some parts. See, and this is where you mount this so that you can mount the camera on top. There's for mounting onto a tripod. There's where the batteries go. It screws on, is it? So they're not popping out. Mark Bennett had bought the F3, the little brother, one of the little brothers of the F6. But it only has 2 inputs, and I've been using the H6, which has 6 inputs, technically 8 if you count the built-in microphones. Okay, already I'm going, well, it's less good than the one I've got. The F3 is like $350, and this is like $750. This has 6 XLR inputs, and they're locking. They have the little locking mechanisms. We have a USB-C for power, which I will be using. Oh, and the other thing, there are really 3 things. The F3 only has the 2 inputs. This one has 6. The F3 has a monochrome screen. This has a full color screen. You know me, I like shiny things and colors. The thing that killed the F3 for me, though, was it uses micro SD cards. I have found those to be very, very precarious. I have lost more files off of micro SD cards than I've ever lost off of a full-size SD card. And this takes full-size SD cards. See right there. XDSC. Oh, and if you'll notice here on the SD card side, after you put the SD card, look at, it'll take the other kind of batteries. Now that does make it a lot bigger and heavier, but of course, AA's aren't going to last you that long. So this is and most photographers have these. I have a bunch of these because it runs, I have a lot of gear that will take these. Then to turn it on, you need the power button, which of course is on the side. And there we go. So I want English, set date and time. Oh, you have to hit the little check mark. There, see it lights up. And we'll get to 2023. Now, if you're paying close attention, you're going, wait a minute, November 7th? That was weeks ago. Well, after I ordered this and before it came, Apple went crazy with the MacBooks, so I've been playing with those. Now I've set the time. No card. Oh, well, I just happen to have a card handy. Card's going upside down. Weird having the power button on the side, I gotta tell you. Ordinarily, I'd go through do all the setup and I'd put it in and I'd let you listen to the difference, but you're not gonna hear a difference. This doesn't make the audio better. It just makes it easier to deal with, especially if you have screaming and whispering and everything on your audio track. Well, you can adjust the levels in post with this and you'll never clip. You can overload the mic, but you'll never overload this. You'll never clip here. So that's why I got this one. I wanted the multiple inputs, I wanted the color screen, but technically, most importantly, I wanted the full-size SD cards. I will not trust those micro SD cards. I've had too much trouble. Plus, they're also then a pain in the ass. Let's say I'm on the road. Well, my MacBook Pro won't take a micro SD card. I'd have to get one of those little caddy things. It's too much trouble. This takes full-size SD cards. I can just stick them right to the side of my Mac. I didn't need it. What I have works just fine. This is a little bit better. The 32-bit float is a cool thing. I explained it more in detail, I think, in the Tentacle Track E video, which I will link down below. But 32-bit float is just like, it's the future of audio. You don't have to worry about clipping. You get a lot of control in post. You don't have to constantly be fiddling with your levels. In fact, this thing, you don't really fiddle with the levels. You just like set them and forget them, and then you're good to go. Mark Bennett isn't entirely to blame here. He got an F3, but it made me go do the research. I didn't know Zoom had 32-bit float recorders. This is why I watch Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis, and you should too. Plus, he's funny. Funnier than me, anyway. That wasn't a great video, but I'm not that worried about it because nobody watches these. My gear videos get very few views. My tech videos get all the views. So this is just a filler video until I can get to my next tech video. But for those of you who came along for the ride, God bless you. Glad to have you. You're always welcome here. And I will continue to do gear videos. Thanks for watching my crappy video about the Zoom F6. Again, I will link to some other videos down below where you could learn more about 32-bit float and everything. Curtis Judd, great guy on audio. He has a video about this guy. I'll link to that. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. Still waving, but thank you for staying all the way to the end. I really do appreciate that. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.